What up, boys, and welcome back to yet another video. So, Loot from 100 Runs is a series that I started like half a decade ago, where I basically do a dungeon to make gold, and I do it 100 times. I save everything that's of interest or of value, and then I make these videos showcasing it to you guys how I run the dungeon, but also I show all the loot that I obtained in the 100 runs. And in today's video, I managed to snag a market value of 1.1 million gold. I say market value, but the buyout price on my realm is 1.1 million gold. Now, before we take a look at the dungeon Shadowfang Keep, big thank you for all the support on the 0 to 10 million gold guide, which is now shortly going to be updated with the best ways to make gold in the new expansion, The War Within. So if you already have the gold guide, don't worry, you will be sent that version automatically for free to your email. And if you don't have it already, you can get it for 50% off by using the discount code STUDENT. You can find the link to that down below in the description. So Shadowfang Keep is located right here in Silver Pine Forest. It's very important that you do the dungeon on normal mode and not on heroic. Heroic is like the cataclysm version of it, and by the time you kill a boss, you will be locked out from the dungeon. Besides from that, there's a couple of tips depending on what class you play, but this first tip is basically just running in and killing all the mobs before you kill the first boss. Like, don't even bother looting the mobs. Once you kill the boss, you won't be able to kill those mobs, they will despawn. But there's like a super long RP segment after killing the first boss, which is actually way shorter after, like if you play a Horde. Like the Horde role-playing segment is way shorter than the Alliance one. Kind of unfair, but I guess you got to give Horde some advantage as well, right? But due to the fact that it takes ages for these guys to talk to each other and open up the gates, you're better off just zooming through the mobs and then just going back and looting the mobs as you wait for the werewolf to go and open up the door. Now, there's some ways you can skip through this door. If you play a demon hunter, they have a trick in order to skip the door, but like overall, you'll probably be like do the dungeon faster if you play something like a druid that just moves fast. But yeah, I know a lot of people are doing this in demon hunters, and if you have the choice between Horde and Alliance, you want to do this farm on the Horde side. Now, notice that right now, I'm not looting any of these mobs that I'm killing, and that is just because I have the loot from exactly 100 runs in my bags. I might be missing out on billions of gold of like some of the loot of these mobs, but that's just gonna have to deal with that one. But it's not like I need gold. I just think it's fun to farm it. But yeah, normally I would loot as I kill. Like I would kill this pack, loot the pack, kill the next pack, loot it. Now, keep in mind that in this dungeon, there's a lot of chests, a lot of open chests and a lot of locked chests. And the chests have a higher chance of obtaining rare items. So you should do this on a toon that has a profession that allows you to open up a chest, unless you play a rogue. So the one that I prefer is Inscription, because you can go and pick up cool tier as Inscription level 1, and that's enough. You don't need to level Inscription at all. That allows you to buy these keys on the auction house. Well, the scroll of unlocking, and you can use those to open up the locked chest. It really does make a difference, like in the long run. So definitely worth doing. Like right now, they're kind of expensive at 9 gold each, but spending 10 gold to be able to open up a chest, you'll make that gold back in no time. When it comes to loot, though, like back in the days, I used to love running this dungeon because the green items, like the silver thread pieces, and also the Buccaneer's vest, was doing extremely good. Like, they made you a lot of gold. They were expensive. That's on most realms no longer the case. They're not really that good. So green items from Shadowfang Keep, nothing to brag about. There's a bunch of blue items that's unique to the dungeon, meaning that they can only drop from this dungeon. That's what you want to get. Now, there's a lot of bad blues. There's a lot of blue weapons that's decent, but there's a couple of super items. Now, one of the super items being the Shadowfang. Like the sword, the Shadowfang, is really good. And then you also have Necrology, you got the Gloom Shroud, you got the Duskbringer, which I got last time I did loot from 100 runs. Back then, it had a market value of 2 million gold. I ended up selling it for 1 million gold. So that was really good. But yeah, the sword Shadowfang is really good. You also have like the Assassin's Blade as well, which tends to be okay. But you're only making serious gold if you get some of the blue BOEs that's specific to Shadowfang Keep. Now, once I arrive at this area, some people, they run up this staircase and they continue killing a couple of mobs only, and then a couple of bosses. I don't think it's worth my time, so I would rather just run out and reset the dungeon. Now, the run is really fast, so you're going to be dungeon locked out after doing 10 runs anyway. So if you don't have anything planned to do after running Shadowfang Keep, it would make sense to do the full run. But I much rather care about mobs killed per hour. So I would rather go and do like an open world farm or something after finishing my 10 runs. So I jump off the fence, as you saw. Like once you get out of the tower right here, you can just simply jump off the fence and you will be ported outside from the dungeon, where you can then reset the instance and go again. So that's how you farm it. Super simple stuff. Now, what you all came to this video for, what exactly did I get? So you get way more shoulders than this. I just decided to keep a couple of them just to show you guys that they might be worth keeping. They are unique, meaning that no other item has the same appearance as most of these white shoulders, and they can now be transmogged. So look at the price of these. As many of them are worth putting up on the auction house, it makes sense, but they can also fall down to, well, something like this, like 140 gold each. But it's very likely that you'll be able to sell them for 1,000 gold, 500 gold, and you'll be swimming in these. They drop quite often. In terms of green items, I got 2 Spellbinder Robe. It's a unique item with a decent sell rate, and it's not really amazing, but it's something that you should throw up on the auction house. I got the manual for the strong anti-venom. I usually sell these, like they usually sell relatively fast, so I post them on the auction house. I got 1 Buccaneer's vest. Absolutely insane sell rate on these. They're wild. They sadly don't have the best price though, but they're such an easy sale, so I always keep them. Now, these are some examples of the blue items that you can get. Now, something like the Twisted Chanter staff is bad. I just kept it to show you guys the amount of blues, but it's a world drop, so that's pretty bad. I got the Face Smasher, which this is kind of weird. This is one of those items that made Shadowfang Keep so good, because it's a unique item. It can only drop inside Shadowfang Keep, but it's sitting at 2.2k gold in my realm. 45k reach in the market value average though, but right now they're bad. Now, the Iron Patch Sword, it's another world drop weapon. Not really that good. Shares with a Nightwatch Short Sword, which is another BOE weapon. On a lot of realms, it makes sense to post that. Mage Fist Gloves, again, it's a world drop blue. I got the Witching Stave, which is an item that comes out of Shadowfang Keep, but it has a couple of shared appearances. Usually worth putting up on the auction house, though. I got the Nightwatch Short Sword, the one that I talked about that shares the same appearance as the Iron Patch Blade. I got myself a Prospector Axe, another world drop. It only shares appearance with the Axe of Severing, though, so usually worth putting up on the auction house. Then I got myself the Black Malice, which is another Shadowfang Keep drop. It shares an appearance with the Giant's Leg Bone, but that's usually no biggie. I always post these on the auction house. And then I got the Big Kahunas. Now, the sad thing about this is when we farmed back in the days, a lot of the items like the Gloom Shroud, Shadowfang, Dustbringer, and Necrology were like best in slot twink items. That's no longer the case. The twinking, it's completely different right now. So this one, Gloom Shroud, I mean, I used to sell these for 500,000 gold. It's a, from a transmog perspective, it's a relatively bad item. It shares an appearance with something like the Sun Rock chest piece, which is a very basic green item, world drop. So it's no longer, like, they still sell, and they have a reach and market value average of 512k, but the market value 155, currently posted for 80,000 gold. It is, however, a super item in terms of drop chance. It's just not very good. I was saved though on, I think it was like run number 85 or something like that. everything was saved by me getting another Duskbringer. Now, if you guys watched my my video, my previous 100 runs, I did get one of these. Back then, the market value was twice this at 2 million gold. I ended up selling that for exactly 1 million gold. Now it's close to that at 979. It shouldn't be an issue selling it for that price. So that definitely saved me. Now, if we take a look at the add-on that I showed you guys in the beginning, the add-on Bag Appraiser, which takes all the prices on my realm and shows them right here, I have items with the current price on my auction house for 1,177,000 gold. Now, if I change this to, let's say, market value, the EU market value, you can see it's down to 794. That's due to the Duskbringer only being 552. The Gloomshroud is twice as expensive though, but the Duskbringer is also like half the price. So if I can manage to sell the Duskbringer for what I sold it for last time, the gold per hour on this is absolutely insane. I mean, on this one alone, we're talking almost 100,000 gold per hour per 10 runs. So that's really, really good. Now, if you guys got any suggestions on what dungeon I should do next, please let me know by typing it down below in the comment section. And of course, don't forget to check out the 0 to 10 million gold guide, 50% off using the discount code STUDENT. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, and I will see you all back in at tomorrow's video. But until then, bye-bye.